Okay, so one thing you might not know about me, or you may already know if you know me in real life, or you may have already kind of picked this up looking at my other videos, I'm a total and complete nerd, right? I'm a political nerd. I love talking about politics. Like, I can do that forever. You know, I'm a religious nerd. I like talking about religion. I can do that forever. But really, I write science fiction, and one of the things that really got me going in terms of writing science fiction and interested in science fiction early on, from when I was a little kid and writing about it, is, well, hold one second. It's, I don't know if you can see this, it's this. Oh God, there's dust coming off of it. This is Striker. This is a miniatures rule set for wargaming, tabletop wargaming using miniatures. Science fiction, it's based in the Traveller universe. I'll go ahead and put some pictures up here. Pew, 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 pew. And when I was very young and into Traveller and Dungeons and Dragons, I used to love building like Napoleonics, you know, not building them. I used to love painting these little tiny 15mm toy soldiers. I've always built 1/35 scale model. I'll put a picture of the stack of models that I still have to work on right here. Pew! And this noise, pew, I stole that from somebody else. I'll explain that in a bit. Anyway, so recently, you know, my kids are growing up and we're starting to play Dungeons and Dragons together. We're starting to do stuff like this together. And I really wanted to get them into tabletop miniatures wargaming. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'm definitely going in that direction. And so along those lines, I started looking at what's the state of the art these days in terms of what's there on YouTube, what's there in terms of, you know, war games that have come up since I've been involved. And look, we're talking 30 years ago. This is out of print, completely out of print. And I don't think it was that popular when it was in print, but I loved it because it allows you to do anything from war games, anything from you know, swords and clubs, all the way up to plasma rifles and anything else, depending on, you know, you could get scenarios where you have hordes of guys with bows and arrows against Imperial Marines armed with plasma rifles, right, or fusion rifles. So pretty weird stuff, and I used to love the flexibility that this rule set gives you in terms of creating those kinds of battles. So anyway, what I thought was, you know, I don't have a hobby shop anywhere near me. I live in the middle of nowhere in the deep south. The closest hobby shop, and it's not a very good one, is literally 1 hour away. Literally 1 hour away. Now there's Hobbytown USA, but that's not, you know, they got a little bit of everything. When it comes to miniatures wargaming, it's just not that great. I'm talking about real, honest to goodness hobby shops that, you know, you go in there and you look around at the people and they're totally dorky just like me. So everything I do, basically, I have to buy stuff online, and I really can't get a feel for what's popular there. So I have two choices. I can go to YouTube, or when I'm on travel on business, I can look in, and when I'm in big cities, look into hobby shops there and see what's going on. Well, first thing I did was look at YouTube, and I found a couple of channels that I thought were awesome. Now, in the past, pew, I did a video on painting miniatures figures for Dungeons and Dragons, and when I did that kind of little series, I think it was 2 videos, I don't know. But when I did those videos, I thought I was really good. I was still using techniques that I had developed in the 1980s before we had, you know, this, what you're watching right now, YouTube, or even the internet. And I was doing the best I could out of books that I had bought, etc., etc. It turns out, after I had started looking at YouTubes on how to paint figures today, and just recently to see what kind of tutorials are out there, oh my, I am so bad. And there are so many techniques I've never even heard of. Glazing, layering, feathering, all those things. You know, I read that, I originally got going with Shep Payne? What the heck is the guy's name? I don't know, building dioramas or whatever. I'll put a picture of the book right here. Pew! But that's how I basically learned to paint figures, right? Is the old school stuff where you use oil paints and blend them together, dark in the creases of clothing, lighter where the folds peak, that sort of thing. Well, we've come a long way since then, baby, and you know, we're only getting better, I guess. Some of these artists out there are absolutely amazing. So there are 2 channels that I've really kind of keyed in on and found myself following more or less. I don't like to follow other channels, like, you know, in the strict sense, but I definitely click on them every time I get a chance to sit down at YouTube to see if they've updated anything, got any new videos out. The first one is this guy, Tabletop Minions. Pew! You can go ahead and take a look at his videos there. That pew sound, I'm totally stealing from that guy. His name is Adam. Adam, sorry if you're watching this. He does this thing where he goes, pa-chow or ka-chow. I love it. So my sound is going to be pew! Pew! I really enjoy watching his videos. He doesn't have that many painting tutorials as much as some other channels, but just listening to him, he knows a whole lot about the state of the art when it comes to tabletop wargaming. And so I've really started to get a sense of what's going on today by listening to his videos on a road trip I recently took down to Tampa, Florida. So I listened to him all the way down and all the way back, and it really gave me a sense for what's being played right now, what's popular, what's not, all those kinds of things. And then the second video, the second channel that I started putting up is, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll find it after I make this video and link to it, pew, here. And this guy is just very patient with the way he teaches about painting figures. And he does almost exclusively tutorials on painting figures. And this is the one that really helped me try my first glazing job on a little Frostgrave Knoll figure that I'm working on right now. And I'll if it turns out okay, I'll put pictures up. It's definitely different from what I've done in the past. This is my most recent project right here, another knoll that I did without using glazing or anything like that, and it's okay. I mean, it's not great though. If you look closely, you can see, you really get the sense looking at this guy, oh yeah, that's painted, right? Well, I really want to go for something that when you look at it, it doesn't look painted. It looks almost real in a miniature scale, and I've never achieved that. My entire life, I've never been able to achieve that, and so I'm hoping by watching that guy and doing some of his tutorials, I'll get closer to that goal. Look, I'm never going to be a competition painter. I don't think I have that in me, but I do want to get better than I am right now, and so it's a fairly simple goal. Hopefully I can achieve it. And the goal here really though is to get my kids into this and have it something that we can all do together in terms of projects and playing games and going to conventions hopefully eventually. I want my kids to be just as nerdy as me. End transmission. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Look, now that YouTube is censoring everybody, we all need to work together. So please, click the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and do one small thing for me. Share this on social media. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, I don't care which. Every social media thing you're subscribed to, however little you're willing to do, however much. Also consider buying my books. I'm an award-winning author, and you get what you pay for. You'll at least have some enjoyment out of them. I'm not asking for charity. Take a look at my books, all the links are below. Thanks for watching.
Aussi, fais bien attention.